Hey, welcome. This is Aussie Online Growing on Shopify, and you are listening to episode number 86. This is a lead generation idea that you could perhaps implement in your own e-commerce store if you are looking for new leads, if you're looking to grow your audience or your warm audience, if you're looking to gather more people in a group that probably like your product or like your brand or your ideal customer. You may find this lead generation project or exercise valuable. And at the very least, you'll probably find that it inspires some ideas for your own type of lead generation project or activity that you could try in your e-commerce business and implement and see what results come of it for you as far as growing your audience or customer acquisition, even some orders placed, definitely an increase in social traffic and activity. You'll find you'll get better open rates with your emails. You'll find just a community feeling amongst your followers on social media and your ideal customer base and people who are interested in your products definitely grow from an activity like this. I did this lead generation idea or project or experiment back in February 2024, and I've actually just wrapped it up again. Now it's near the end of June 2024, so I've done it twice now. I haven't got actual monetary results to share with you from the latest time I've rolled this project out to my followers and my customers because we've only just wrapped it up in the last couple of days. But I can share with you some stats from when I did this exercise back in February. So let me explain what I did. I did a challenge with my social media followers. So this totally works if you are in a bit of a niche, a group of people who have a similar interest or a similar hobby, a similar thing they like to do or things they like to enjoy in their spare time, is to do some sort of a challenge with these people on social media. This works well inside a Facebook group. So I have a Facebook group and I was looking to increase the engagement inside the Facebook group and really just do this activity to see what sort of response I would get from my followers, increase the communication, the engagement and the activity, the comments, the likes, the shares inside my group. And now having done this project once back in February and lots of customers who've asked about it since to do it again, we've just finished doing the same activity again with a slightly different tweak in June 2024. So I'm interested to see over the next few weeks what sort of sales this generates and just an increase in traffic to my website in general, which of course increases like conversion rates because you get more traffic. Well, my conversion rate may drop, but I'm getting more traffic to the website. So I'm going to get more people browsing around who are going to be targeted again on social media with retargeting ads and who will see my emails from me because they'll get caught up in my newsletter, Klaviyo flows and all that sort of stuff. So I would like to share with you, I did a challenge with my followers on social media. It was a challenge I invited them to be a part of. So we created a project together as a group. So it was a great way for people to jump in and be involved in a craft activity because that's the niche I'm in, is crafting. And people love to be part of challenges when they're in a craft niche. I don't jump on challenges very much, but lots of my customers do. So I knew this was going to be something that they enjoyed and that they would find value in. And becoming part of a challenge means that they get to feel like the creative adventures that they do at home on their own in their own quiet time is like shared amongst a bigger group, because they know that others will see what they work on. They get to work towards a project and a goal together as a group, be inspired by other crafters as well. So the type of project you decide to do, if you choose to do this sort of lead generation experiment, perhaps for your own e-commerce brand, is really not as important probably as where you see the value for your potential customers, because lots of people who took part in this challenge, both times I've done it now, have never purchased from me before. But where is the value that they see in this? Because they potentially are going to really love this sort of thing when it's a hobby, something they like to do in their downtime or something that they find relaxing and that they look to relax after a long, hard day. Or if they've got young kids, something they do when their kids are in bed asleep at night and they get some time to themselves. So with your own e-commerce brand, how is the lifestyle around that brand? What sort of lifestyle does somebody live who is an ideal customer of yours, where this sort of idea of a lead generation project or activity or challenge is something that maybe you could put together for your own audience and invite them to take part in it? to take part in it. So from the activity I did, I actually gave out a coupon code. So I gave a gift card to everybody who participated in the challenge. So it ran for 5 days back in February, and anyone who participated for the whole 5 days got a $20 gift card from me, which is a really hefty gift. Like many of my customers or followers at the time, they weren't customers at the time, were rapt about it. They were hanging out to get their $20 gift card. It was a really great little reward for having been part of the challenge. I gave them a reward outside of just enjoying the challenge because I could see the value in them participating as building my social media following, so building my reach and helping my Facebook group grow, which it definitely did. I had a lot of new members join in the lead up to this challenge, but also the content that they are creating along the way. Like they are giving me a bit of ideas and clues into the things they like, the products they like, what they like to do with them, the styles of crafting they enjoy, the words they use. Like when you think about social media in general and the type of comments you get or likes or shares or DMs from your ideal customer, is to always put your little hat on and think about it through the lens of a business owner and doing research into your own target audience. Like what little nuggets of gold are they giving you in the way they talk to you, the way they chat to each other, the things they share? So there's plenty of avenues to kind of feel like this challenge was worthwhile from a business perspective, not just that it was a beautiful, fun, amazing thing to do and it was heaps of fun and my customers and my followers loved it, and I also really enjoyed taking part in it too. So which is why I was really looking forward to doing it again. It took me months to get around to doing it again, but I knew it was going to be a lot of fun when a few customers prodded and poked me over the last few months about when are we going to do that challenge again? We're going to do another challenge. So it went far better than I thought it ever would. And the benefits have been far more reaching than I thought they would be as well, even just from looking at all the benefits to my community and my ideal customers and my audience online and my customers as well. So at the end of this challenge back in February, I issued 16 coupon codes. So not a lot. You know, sometimes if we start a project like this or something similar or whatever lead generation activity you are looking at or experiment, we can sometimes worry that it's going to be like hundreds or thousands of people are going to jump in this and take part. Maybe that will happen for you. That would be crazy. Hey, like if that happened, I don't know if I'm sorry for you or happy for you, because it can feel a bit scary. Like, what if I have to issue 1,000 coupon codes? It's unlikely to happen. And I was stoked that I had 16. I would have happily given out 50 $20 gift cards or coupon codes, and I ended up with 16 in the end that I gave out to people who participated along the whole way of the challenge and really contributed to the whole experience of the challenge and the fun and the atmosphere of it all. But that's 16 $20 coupon codes retail, remember, as well. So anytime you think about a coupon code or a discount or anything for your own e-commerce brand, always remember that's the retail price you are giving away. It's obviously not costing you $20 per participant to give them as a reward for taking part. So that's always just worth remembering that is obviously the retail value and not the wholesale value of the products they purchase them with their little gift card. When I look at the stats and my customers during this period for when the coupon code expired and when it was active for, and the customers I acquired and who was new and who was returning in that period of time, I can see that I had 5 brand new customers. So that made me really happy. Out of the 16 codes or gift cards I issued, and out of the people that participated in the challenge inside the group and how much my group grew over that time, 5 brand new customers placed their very first order with their codes. That made me really, really happy. That's not true, sorry. 9 placed orders, 5 of them were brand new. So that's really great. I was stoked to have 5 brand new customers just from this activity, apart from obviously other activities I do for lead generation, but just from this activity, 5 brand new customers placed their very first order. And, you know, when I look at those 5 new customers since February, out of those 5 customers who became my very first customer because of this challenge, they have had a combined total of 21 orders since February. So 21 orders have been placed from these 5 customers since February. So those numbers are not giant. Of course, they're not giant, but you can actually multiply those out. So think about this as far as an activity you undertake Is it worthwhile? Is it not worthwhile? To date, 3 months later, this 5 group of people have now placed a total of 21 orders with me. So they initially purchased because of this activity to begin with, and then they have come back again and again. So it is absolutely worth my time to do this sort of activity as a lead generation activity. It didn't cost me any money because I didn't pay for any ads or anything during this time. This was purely an organic exercise that took my time to implement and to facilitate over those 5 days. But it didn't cost me any advertising dollars or anything like that. So I was stoked to look back and see that those stats were 5 brand new customers came to my brand and placed an order. And since then, they have had a combined total of 21 orders in the following 3 or 4 months since I did the challenge. And when I look at the average cost, it usually costs me to acquire a customer on Meta or Facebook ads, it's usually around $25. So probably the average cost per acquisition for me on Meta is about $25 for a new customer, which I think is great. I'm really happy with the $25 cost to get a customer for the first time. Then this challenge was so worthwhile. This little challenge or lead generation activity I did was totally worthwhile, considering those 5 customers, had I acquired them all through Facebook, would have been $125 worth I would have spent on Meta that I didn't spend doing this challenge. It was basically free and just took me some time to do. And the revenue from them since has been over $500. So that compounds over time. These customers will come back again and again for a specific period of time, or customers have a lifetime value. They will drop off, of course, at some point. But it's been $500 worth of revenue from these brand new customers that I acquired just because of this challenge. So it's not insignificant, particularly because it becomes a program I can roll out and repeat. Like anytime you do an experiment in your e-commerce store, anytime you try something different or do some sort of lead generation activity, some sort of challenge, something new, it can feel like a waste of time, but you don't really know till you go back and check your data afterwards. You may find it perform better than you are imagining when you get caught up in your emotions and the roller coaster that is business and online business world. But go back and look at what the stats are after. Because looking at the stats from my challenge, it felt good at the time. At the time, the comments, the interaction, the community that built was fantastic. Like it was so worthwhile. It made my week to do this challenge with my customers. I loved it. They loved it. I had the best time ever inside my Facebook group, chatting with them backwards and forwards during the challenge itself. And then to look back on it now, a few months later, and see that the new customers that came to me during that time have since placed orders, combined orders of 21 and over $500 in revenue since the challenge, then it's actually monetary also worth my time as well, and validates this concept to roll out again. So I could take this whole concept, which I have done because I've just finished a challenge now, so I have done it again, but I could totally package this up as something that I rinse and repeat, and every 2 months, every month, every 8 weeks, every 2 weeks. This becomes something that if you do a project like this or an experiment like this and go back and look at the stats after, find out how many coupon codes you gave out or how many free products you gave out, find out how many brand new customers came to you in that time, find out how big your social media following grew, your reach grew, your Facebook group grew, find out how big your email list got during this time, did it grow as well, find out how many of the customers that may have purchased with you during the time, if you have a purchase period where they get a discount or a special gift or a free gift with purchase, how many customers did you get and how many of them were brand new because of this challenge, how many of them were repeat customers because of this challenge. Then go back and see how after a few months' time, this same cohort of customers, how many of them came back again and again and again. And then you've now got a little system that you can roll out in place and replicate, like literally rinse and repeat it, which I did. I went back to my socials, I copied all the socials I used, and I rinsed and repeated everything. I jazzed it up a little bit because we did something slightly different this time than we did in February. But the thinking through the process was done, so because I had done it once already. So the thinking part of it, the strategy behind it, the reason why it was worthwhile to do it in June was validated for me from having seen how it went for me in February and how it went and the results from February were. So the other benefits, which I think I've mentioned, was the increase to my group membership, my Facebook group membership. The activity on my page and in the group was a great community spirit, was lots of fun. And the feedback from my social media followers and people in the group was fantastic. They just loved it. They really, really enjoyed it. So this time around, I did a different project. This time around, we created a little happy mail bundle. So this time customers suggested they would love to create something and post it to someone else. So I matched them up as challenge participants. So they got a challenge partner, and then they were posting their little Happy Mail bundle to someone else as part of the challenge. So they were giving away something as a gift to somebody else. They were going to get one in return, as well as getting a $20 gift card from me to say thanks for being part of it to begin with. So that's what I've just done for June. So I'm interested to see how that rolls out over the next little while and see how well it monetizes, or how many new customers I acquire, how many current customers come back and purchase, and place their third order with me or their fourth, and then use their coupon code or their little gift card. So there's lots of ways of looking at this over the next couple of months, and I'm looking forward to seeing how well it went. But I really wanted to share with you just the concept and the validate the idea for you that it may be worth trying with your own e-commerce brand. This is something I can totally roll out for you, of course, as well. If you struggle with the implementation of an idea like this, remember, there's information everywhere. You will never be short of finding information on building an e-commerce brand. But if you just feel that you get stuck and that inertia is just too hard to overcome for yourself, as far as finding the time to set aside to actually think about the strategy and create it and design it and build it and implement it into your own e-commerce brand or your own Shopify store, reach out to me absolutely at Aussie Online, growing on shopify.com.au, and I can implement the system for you. If you find that's really your barrier for you, perhaps you see the idea is maybe a good idea and something similar may work for you, but you're not quite sure what, and you just don't want to be doing the work in the background to implement it all, then I can absolutely facilitate that for you and help you with that. And then you can sort of start this and see if it's a worthwhile exercise or a worthwhile lead generation activity for your own brand, and go back and measure it after for you and give you some results and give you some stats and some actual data on how well it went. So I was rapt to get these customers. When I think about the codes that I gave out and the wholesale value of the gift cards I gave away, I was really acquiring 5 brand new customers for less than $50, which is crazy. That's so much cheaper than it would cost me on Meta to find 5 brand new customers, as well as, like I said, all the amazing, beautiful comments and images and crafting things they've created in the group because of this that I can use and chat about with them, reach out and say, hey, can I share this on the public page? It was so beautiful. I'd love to share it so somebody else can appreciate it and enjoy it. So you do get a lot out of it when you really have that hat on to begin with, that you are looking to connect with your ideal customers, to grow the group of people that know, like, and trust you. And you'll end up with some sales at the end of it too. Of course, that's sort of the reason why we are in e-commerce. But I was surprised at all the other benefits as well that came along with this project, that wasn't just sales at the end of the day. It was other benefits as well that I can go back and reuse kind of that content they've created and all the amazing work they shared, the comments they left, the language they use, the products they chat about, the techniques they talk about, and use that moving forward as some customer sort of research and a bit of target audience research for myself as a business owner, to know more about my customers so I can serve them better and do better by them as well, and give them more of what it is that they really love. So I said to you this time around, we did something different. I did a Happy Mail swap with my challenge group. So that was the event or the challenge that they were RSVPing to take part in. But I still gave everybody who participated a $20 gift card, which I haven't issued any yet because the last couple of days of wrapping up. So they'll be going out in the next few days. So I'll be interested to see how many of them take up that offer, and how many of them place their very first order for the very first time would be very cool. So I did, let me tell you, in case you're interested on kind of the comms schedule at the back of this, if you want to build out your own communication schedule as an idea of maybe what you might want to do, this will spur some, perhaps get your creative juices flowing a little bit. So I did 5 days of a challenge. It was a short window. It was achievable. That was based off of customer feedback as well. Customers loved that in February it was achievable and short. So for doing it again in June, I kept it to 5 days. I also just mentioned that we did a Happy Mail swap, because back in February, a customer suggested we do something like a Happy Mail swap next time and post our creations to another customer or to another challenge participant. Again, that was a customer suggestion, customer feedback. So I implemented that. You see how this is very customer focused. I did a poll inside my Facebook group asking what sort of theme we should do for the new challenge. So I gave them some options and they voted. Again, customer focused. I wanted to do a challenge or a lead generation activity that they found fun and valuable, of course, to be part of and enjoy and participate in. So I looked for their feedback again on that point too and made sure I implemented that. I did a voucher for taking part as a thank you from me, and it didn't run into hundreds of dollars like I was worried it would. It turned out to be so economical. It was well worth it as far as the customer acquisition costs goes on my behalf as a business owner to give away a $20 gift card to anyone who participated, because the customer acquisition cost at the end of this, having 5 brand new customers, from this activity back in February, was well worthwhile for me for the cost it would have, like it cost me out of pocket to give those coupon cards away. The assets took me probably one evening to set up. So if I'm being realistic and honest with you, of course, it took me some hours because I was doing this as a bit of an organic activity. So there was no advertising cost on Meta or anything for it. But to set up all the social assets for it in the lead up to it, getting RSVPs, and then during the challenge period itself, it probably took me an evening to set up all the assets at the background and behind the scenes for this lead generation activity. I had a Facebook event set up. I had graphics. I did 2 Facebook Lives during this time as well. I had an email that I sent inviting everybody on my email list to take part in the challenge. I had a post inside the group every day for the challenge. I've got a couple of posts that are now scheduled and appearing post challenge about what to do next and following up from it all and how much fun did you have, and has anyone received their little package? Have you posted your package? What did you make? Share us. We'd love to see all that sort of stuff. So there is a lot of logistics in the background of it, which there often is with a lead generation activity. But remember, if this is something that's given you a bit of an idea or maybe spurred your imagination on, often this work is only done once. You just have to think about it and plan this out once, and then you can rinse and repeat it every time you want to run this sort of thing with your followers, or anytime you want to boost your activity in your Facebook group, anytime you want to grow a Facebook group or grow your Facebook page. Of course, you can just run this on your public page as well. I chose to do it inside of my group. But if I didn't have a group, I would just do it on my public social media profiles. That's how I would do it. You could do this by email as well and really use this as a project or an activity to get more email signups, to grow your newsletter list. There's lots of different ways of like leveraging this idea to suit your e-commerce brand. I'm confident that there is a way of doing it. So I encourage you to sit down and do some planning and some strategy around this sort of idea. See what ideas pop to mind and what you think of as a bit of brainstorming activity for how you could roll out some sort of a challenge for your own social media followers or your own customers as a bit of a new customer acquisition exercise. Remember, this is lead generation. So with everything we do in our business, some things can just seem like a nice, fun idea, and why would I bother doing it apart from it being fun? Like, if being fun is not a good enough reason for you to do this sort of experiment or project with your social media followers, then reframe it and really put the hat on that it's a lead generation exercise. In which case, what do I need to see at the end? If this is a lead generation exercise for me, what do I need to see at the end? What would be successful? What do I want my followers to do to take part? What do I want to get out of it as a business owner? What am I hoping at the other end? I was hoping for sales and orders at the other end, so I gave away a coupon code. But you could also hope for email addresses at the other end to grow your email list, and you actually giving away something else, but you need email signups as the carrot or as the incentive to kind of opt in to the challenge of some description. Do you know what I mean? Like, you really just need to think about what you're looking at for the other end of this, to know kind of what you want to do from the start. Like I've seen before, you've probably seen them too lots of times. You see giveaways on social media, on Instagram or on Facebook, and people who enter only need to like share it or comment or tag a friend or something like that. You are leaving lots of money, in my case, hundreds of dollars, and that's just in the last few months. That will still continue to grow with this cohort of new customers. You're leaving hundreds of dollars on the table, potentially thousands or tens of thousands, depending how big your brand is, by having such a low barrier to entry and not getting anything in return apart from some social interaction. Like, what do you need in return to make it worthwhile? You need some email signups, at least. Like, you need some email signups to make this worthwhile, so you can contact these people again and again, which these people, part of the group, are being contacted because they made a purchase with their coupon code. So they're caught up in my post-purchase Klaviyo email flows. So I know I'm covered at the back for making sure that I'm being able to stay in contact with these new customers I found, these new followers, and people who've joined my Facebook group who are part of my ideal audience and are my ideal customer. So that base is growing, which helps my pixel as well on Meta, of course, be better at learning who my customers are by acquiring these new group of people through a really good lead gen project. Like, this is very customized for my customers. There is absolutely one for your brand too. I'm 100% confident there is a just as good match for your ideal customers and audience for your lead generation activity or experiment you could run like this that I have found with mine. So I encourage you to have a think about that, hey, and reach out to me if you get stuck with the implementation of it. You just want someone to implement it for you and do some of that strategy. Please reach out to me at Aussie Online Growing on Shopify. I can do the research for you. I can check out your brand. I can put together an offer and a strategy and a comm schedule and the assets and really help you get this implemented, to see the data at the end of it for you as well and evaluate the data and the outcome, and help you now have something that you can like template and repeat and rinse and repeat and rinse and repeat, and continue to get your brand known and to help build that know, like and trust factor with your ideal customers, and build that sense of community and the interaction they have with each other, and feeling like they are part of something, and become really trusting of you as the brand, which means, of course, they're way more likely and will really love to shop and hang out with you more online, which leads to more sales over time. That's absolutely what I have found. Even at a small scale, this is something I could now rinse and repeat many times through the year if I want to. So I'll have to check back with you, hey, in a few months' time, let you know what the monetary stats were at the end of my challenge I've just finished for June, and see how that all landed at a few months' time, and what the kind of the rolling on effect of that is, and the customers purchasing over time, and all sorts of fun stats like that. So stay tuned. If you're looking to hang out with me or to work with me, please book yourself a free discovery call. It's free, won't cost you anything except 25 minutes of your time. You can book it through my website. We can have a chat about this project or any other project in e-commerce from my previous episodes. If you find something there that tickles your fancy, that you know would benefit your business and you're keen to roll it out and implement it, you just need some support there, then I'm your girl. You can reach out to me at Aussie Online Growing on Shopify.com.au, because I am in Australia. And I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for tuning in.